Right now, a 21-mile stretch of water is holding the entire global economy hostage, and the mainstream media is completely missing the real story. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, we are breaking down the absolute economic warfare unfolding in the Middle East. While everyone is focused on the massive explosions in Tehran, the assassination of Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, and the launch of Operation Epic Fury by the United States and Israel, the true battle for global dominance is happening quietly in the waters of the Persian Gulf. Iran has just pulled the trigger on a doomsday scenario they have been threatening for decades. They have effectively closed the Strait of Hormuz. To understand the sheer gravity of this situation, you have to look at the numbers. The Strait of Hormuz is the jugular vein of the modern world. Every single day, roughly 20 million barrels of oil pass through this narrow, shallow waterway. That is 20% of the global seaborne oil trade, alongside massive, critical shipments of liquefied natural gas that keep Europe from freezing during the harsh winter months. For years, military strategists dismissed Iran's threats to close the strait as mere bluffing. But following the devastating US and Israeli airstrikes in late February 2026, the newly formed Interim Leadership Council in Tehran realized they could not win a conventional war against American fighter jets and aircraft carriers. So, they fundamentally changed the rules of the game. They didn't announce a formal, legal blockade. Instead, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, launched a masterclass in asymmetric maritime terror. Over the past few days, a relentless barrage of Iranian suicide drones, anti-ship missiles, and swarms of small fast attack boats have deliberately targeted commercial vessels trying to make the transit. We have seen ships like the Skylight and the MKD-VYOM struck by projectiles, resulting in catastrophic damage, massive fires, and tragic loss of life for international crews. Furthermore, the IRGC has blanketed the entire region in heavy military-grade GPS jamming, creating massive denial areas that render modern ship navigation systems completely and utterly useless. The strategy is brutally effective. By creating an environment of unpredictable, indiscriminate kinetic attacks, Iran has forced the hand of global shipping cartels. The risk is simply too high. Maritime insurance premiums have skyrocketed to unprecedented, unaffordable levels, and protection and indemnity insurance for the region has been entirely withdrawn by major Western underwriters. This means the strait is technically open, but economically it is completely impenetrable. Over 150 massive commercial tankers are currently anchored in the open Gulf waters, completely paralyzed. Global shipping titans like Maersk, CMA, CGM, and Hapag-Lloyd have officially suspended all transits through the region. This is where the crisis spills out of the Middle East, and directly into your wallet. The ripple effects of severing this maritime artery are catastrophic and immediate. Because vessels are now being forced to reroute all the way around the southern tip of Africa, the perilous Cape of Good Hope global supply chains are snapping under the pressure. This massive diversion adds up to 14 extra days of transit time. We are not just talking about a spike in gasoline prices at your local pump, although Brent crude is already surging. We are talking about the basic fundamentals of global survival. Much of the world's nitrogen fertilizer originates in the Middle East, specifically from plants that rely heavily on the free flow of regional natural gas. With those crucial shipments suddenly halted, the global agricultural sector is facing a massive, unprecedented supply shock. Farmers in both developing nations and Western countries alike cannot fertilize their crops for the upcoming planting season. This means that within a matter of months, we are looking at a historic, unavoidable spike in global grocery prices, crippling inflation at the supermarket, and severe food insecurity for millions of vulnerable people. Furthermore, this maritime chokepoint handles vital commodities like raw aluminum, specialized pharmaceuticals, and temperature-controlled electronics. By choking off Hormuz, Iran is actively weaponizing global inflation. Their ultimate goal is psychological and political. Inflict so much immediate, agonizing economic pain on Western consumers that the political will in Washington completely shatters, forcing the administration to back down and halt their military campaign. But every massive geopolitical crisis creates shadow beneficiaries, and the winners in this 20-26 war are not who you might expect. While the United States pours billions of dollars into securing the region, deploying the USS Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group and a massive, technologically advanced naval armada just to swat down cheap, mass-produced Iranian drones, Moscow is quietly watching the chaos unfold with a smile. The US-Iran conflict has pushed the Strait of Hormuz to a de facto closure, which means Russia stands to benefit immensely. As global oil prices spike to dangerous new highs, Russia's heavily depleted war chest gets a massive, sudden influx of cash. Furthermore, with Middle Eastern supply disrupted, energy-hungry superpowers like China and India are being violently forced to pivot, deepening their reliance on Russian energy exports. This localized war is effectively doing the Kremlin's geopolitical heavy lifting. Meanwhile, inside Iran, the desperate regime is using this exact crisis to survive. Iran is currently at its absolute weakest point in modern history, detested by a massive portion of its own population following the bloody mass protests of the last few years, and reeling from the sudden decapitation of its top political and military leadership. Yet, by successfully projecting raw power into the Gulf and bringing the global economy to its knees, the IRGC is attempting to violently rally the fractured nation against a common external enemy. The ultimate question now is how long the global economy can hold its breath before it drowns. The United States military possesses overwhelming conventional superiority, but as history has repeatedly proven, you cannot bomb an insurance premium back down to normal. Securing a narrow 21-mile strait against thousands of hidden drone launchers, smart naval mines, and highly decentralized guerrilla naval units is a logistical nightmare that could take many months, if not years, to resolve. We are witnessing the terrifying birth of a new era of modern warfare, where you don't actually need to defeat a superpower's military to win, you just need to break their supply chains. I will be monitoring this global economic powder keg very closely as the situation develops, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next update.